Hi, my name is Stephanie Burleson, and I'll be presenting research on the relationship between divorce conflict and adult well-being. Divorce conflict is the conflict that arises between parties in a divorce, and it often doesn't stem from the legal process of divorce itself, but rather from the emotional, social, financial, and logistical changes that occur as a result of the dissolution of a marriage. Additionally, the dysfunctional relationship patterns that contributed to the failure of the marriage in the first place often persist into the divorce process and then perpetuate these cycles of conflict, creating increased stress and tension between partners. Well-being is the idea that both internal and external factors comprise the overall health and happiness of an individual, and these factors include physical activities, social support, stress management, mental health, and life satisfaction. Studies have shown that well-being has measurable plasticity and can be influenced by life circumstances and intentional practices. Research studies on divorced couples show that increased levels of divorced conflict have a negative effect on parenting and outcomes for children. A 2025 research study by Moroney and Vickery collected data from a previous large multi-wave study in the UK on divorcing couples and their children at ages 3, 5, 7, and 11. They used the Strength and Difficulties Questionnaire and other evaluative questions to assess the child's perception of the frequency and intensity of their parents' fights. And researchers reported that children who reported more frequent parental conflict had increased occurrences of emotional and behavioral problems. Another research by Dijic et al. In 2022 found that divorce conflict can strain family relationships and destabilize the entire family system. The research study used the Co-Parenting Behavior Questionnaire and the Network of Relationship Inventory to assess sibling relationship and parent-child conflict during the divorce process. And they found that individuals who had increased rates of parent-child conflict also reported greater rates of conflict between siblings. They also noted that children who reported better sibling quality during the parental divorce process had better child adjustment over time. Research on well-being shows that it's a multidimensional construct comprised of the emotional, social, and physical dimensions that create life satisfaction and health. Researchers also show that it can be influenced by both past experiences and current circumstances. And a research study by Truskowski and Kunenfiense et al. In 2022 evaluated 299 young adult participants using the WHO-5 Wellbeing Index, and the results of this study showed that those who reported fewer life stressors also reported higher subjective well-being. And another study by van der Linden et al. In 2023 conducted research on 410 adult participants using the Warwick-Edinburgh Mental Well-Being Scale, and that captures constructs of positive emotions as well as feelings of functioning well and living meaningfully. And the results showed that those participants who prioritized adequate physical activity and quality sleep reported better overall well-being. Research has consistently found that children whose parents had high conflict divorces have lower rates of psychological well-being that persist into adulthood. For example, a research study by Tullius et al. In 2022 found that children whose parents divorced from the ages of 10 to 12 and had high conflict divorces exhibited elevated behavioral and psychological problems, and these difficulties persisted into adulthood when they reassessed the participants between the ages of 21 and 23. Another study by Demir Degas in 2021 found that individuals whose parents divorced at age 12 or younger reported poorer adult well-being, and higher alcohol use, and greater parent-child relationship strain compared to those whose parents divorced later. To conduct this research study, I'll be sampling a pool of 100 adults who's experienced parental divorce prior to the age of 18. They will have mixed age, gender, and race, and participation will be anonymous. To recruit them, I'll be posting an online flyer in the Facebook group Adult Children of Divorce, which will have a link that takes them directly to the SurveyMonkey website. They'll take a brief demographic and screening questionnaire and sign an informed consent. The surveys they'll be taking are the Marital Conflict Questionnaire. It does require permission for use, so that will be attained. It's 42 items scored on a 5-point Likert scale. In the Subjective Wellbeing Scale, specifically the Life Satisfaction and Emotion subscales, they are 7 items each with a 5-point Likert scale scoring system. The data will be collected from the SurveyMonkey website and screened for any incomplete responses. Results will be categorized by percentages indicating low, moderate, and high levels of divorce conflict and well-being. Means will be calculated to determine the average level of divorce conflict and well-being among participants. And these descriptives will provide a comprehensive overview of the participant responses. Regression analysis will also be calculated to determine the relationship between divorce conflict and well-being, determining both the direction and strength of the relationship.